Yo, what's up? Let's try this again. Had some issues over there. So, as I was saying, my experience going over to England for Armwars, the travel, right? And as I was saying before, that you hear stories about, hey, when you go overseas, make sure you get there a few days before competition because you can have like the jet lag thing. Now, jet lag, I've heard for years and years and years. You know, Not that I don't believe people, but I never experienced that before. And I don't mean, going from here to the East Coast. That's I can deal with that. But when you go over to a country where they're about 7 to 8 hours ahead of you, so coming from the States, going over there, you lose a day in a way. Going there, coming back to the States, you gain a day, right? So, I see somebody's in the chat. What's up? Say what's up to your boy. So check this out. So I flew from Redmond, Oregon to Phoenix, Arizona to London, England, London, England to Manchester, England. Okay. Now, let me explain to you my experience with that. Jay Clean, what is up? What is up? Every one of my flights going toward Arm Wars was delayed. Okay. So I'm already off to a rough start. So it started home here. I live 30 minutes south of Redmond. So I'm at the Redmond airport. My son drops me off, and all of a sudden we see a group of people standing outside, across the street. So I'm like, what's going on here? Thought nothing of it. Got out the car, dude says from the airport, hey, sir, we're gonna need you to stay across the street. I'm like, why, what's going on? Fire alarm. Thinking, oh shit, what's going on? I don't see any smoke yet. Okay, so I'm standing, I'm thinking, okay, there are people who are landing, couldn't get in the building either, right? So the police cars are here, fire trucks, they're all being called out. Well, it just so happens that, guess what? Some kid decided, oh, it'd be kind of cool just to ring the alarm and stuff. So it kind of delayed people, their flights and all that kind of stuff, pissed me off. So Jay Clean says, I'm sure Ryan appreciate you trying to outdo this flight debacle. And you know what? When I talked to him when I got there, I said, hey, I got a story for you. It might not top yours, but yeah, it was rough. So I'm already behind schedule, right? Then I go to Phoenix, Arizona. I get there, not too behind to where I had to worry about miss my flight, but everything just kept being delayed. So I never missed a flight. It just kept being delayed. The moral of this story is that, Neil's going to pick everybody up from the airport. Cool. No big deal. I was supposed to be there by like 2:15 local time. I didn't get there till like fucking 8 something at night because of all the delays, right? To the point where they're like getting a hold of me. Dude, what's up? Are you okay? And, I'm not responding. Wife's calling me. I'm not responding, and I tell you why. So the flight from London to Manchester, about a 45, 50-minute flight. Not a real big deal. But we started boarding at 6:10, okay, in the evening. Check this out, 6:10 in the evening, and we didn't leave the tarmac till 7:37. Now, while you're on the tarmac, there's no Wi-Fi. So I couldn't even try to call if I wanted to, And it was like, oh God, no, Jay Clean. Worst flight experience I've ever had was being stuck in San Juan for 13 hours. Yeah, see, that kind of stuff it's just weird, right? So I'm thinking, fuck, I'm like frustrated. I'm telling Neil, hey man, I'm not one of these weirdos that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come, and last minute I don't come. I'm not like that. And my fear is that they were thinking that I'd be like that, but I'm not. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get there as soon as I can. Finally got there. Finally got some Manchester Airport, Radisson Blue. We're there at the hotel. Hey, Neil, I'm here. Where you guys at? Oh, man, we're at the lobby. Come meet us down there, right there. I'm like, all right, cool. Finally get down there. There's Sam Burnett out of Australia. There's Mika, Austin Jaggers, and Neil are all there. I was like, finally, they gave me a big old hug. Dude, we thought something happened to you. I'm like, dude, I'm just glad I'm here. Hop in the van, go to Arm Wars Iron House 3 headquarters, right? But you got to remember, they picked me up from the Manchester airport. Headquarters was in Blackpool. That's another hour away. So So there's that going on. And it took longer than it needed to be because there were some roads that were shut down, right? So we had to take scenic routes, which took even longer. So it was a treat to get there, so to speak. But nonetheless, got there. And it was pretty cool because when I walked in, it was like, hey, well, who has this room? Who has that room? This, that, in the third. I'm thinking, all right. So I walk in and it's like, it's the same exact house that Armwars Dark Card was, where Devin and Sanders pulled at. So I'm kind of having flashbacks. I saw the event. I'm not going, damn, this is a pretty nice house. The setup was awesome. I have to, give it to James Statham and the rest of the production crew. Awesome event there. And I don't think you guys understand round the clock how much Neil puts into this. James Statham puts into this. And the other guys, they put into that round the clock. Okay. So I'm telling you, it was like, oh shit, So there were two houses, right? So house one was us, it was basically like, I guess you could say, I don't want to say all North America, but it was like one team where you had John Terrian, Mika, myself, Austin Jagger, Sam Burnett, Maynard Ninjas. We're all in one house, right? And of course, in Neil and James Statham. The other house had the other guys, right? Mindaugas, both of them, Frodo Hoagland, all the rest of the other guys there. Philippe was there. Popescu was there. They're all in that other house, not too far away. But it was nice, though. What's up, Casey Allen? What's going on? So that was cool. So I'm finally here. They got a game room, a pool table in there. They got a hot tub out there. We'll get to that. And it was just nice. I'm thinking, cool, where am I setting my room at? I'm taking that room. Fuck it, whatever. Me and Mika are roommates. Cool. Team USA, we roommates. And then that night, I got to bed. He had the air mattress. The motherfucker had a hole in it. So I guess it flattened in the middle of the night. So he slept out in the hallway, which is kind of messed up. But the rest of the weekend, he slept, at the other house with the other guys. But my experience, you have no idea. I've talked to people before about this. I've talked to Uncle John. Hey, man, what was your experience about Armwars? He told me what it was. But he also said, you know what? I can tell you everything. I experienced it. But at the same time, you have to know for yourself. I said, okay, cool. No big deal. I can't wait to go. Right. So I'm there. And what I experienced, it was like, man, it was everything I thought it would be. It was one of my bucket list tournaments. Right. So you go there and you kind of going, all right, I'm ready. I took it all in. Right. I was like going, hey, I'm trying to, take all this in, not just stick my toe in the water. I went both feet in. Let's roll. So it wasn't that I was like intimidated by the stage or anything, but it was like for me to go out there and just compete. And you got to realize that arm wrestling on the other side of the world is a little different, just a little bit different. I mean, we're talking world-class athletes. So let me just give you a example how many guys were there as far as what countries they were from. Of course, you got the U.S., you got Canada, right? Then you had Australia. Then you had Norway. Of course, England's there. The Mindaugas boys from Lithuania was there. Popescu, he's from Romania. You had, I thought we had somebody from Ireland. Maybe not. We'll say yeah. Ninjas, the Netherlands, he was there. Philippe was there. God, where's he from again? God, I can't remember. I had on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Slovakia. He's from Slovakia. And then you had Kieran Morrison, right? So, it's like, Sister Sarah, what's going on? To pull those guys, at a high level, I've never experienced that before. I've never been on a WAF stage before. I've never been on a Nemiroff Zloty tour before. So this was all new to me. Now, I've done big tournaments before here in the States, but it was nothing compared to that, right? I went to the IFA Worlds in Florida a couple years ago, but that wasn't, what I witnessed over there, Casey goes, I can't wait for the opportunity to be a part of Armwars. One of my biggest goals. Exactly. I'm going to highlight that for a second. so everybody can stew on that. Because I'm telling you, when you go there, it's a different experience. So my point being, as far as the flight goes, you want to get there at least a couple of days in advance, right? That way you can get acclimated to everything going on. Right now, never been to England before. Everything's different. They drive on the other side of the road. The steering wheel's on the other side of the car, right? So I almost got hit by a car twice, right? So there's that going, right? There's a beach with like 15 minutes walking distance, So we just kind of said, I kind of migrated by myself. Although normally we always went as a group, because there are some sticky parts over there in Blackpool, so kind of questionable. But we all went as a group. I know that one of the nights we all went out to dinner. It was like 9 of us. We all went out to dinner, went down to a local pub, and walking distance, we just walked in there, and it was weird because like everybody was enjoying their meal. Everybody just kind of stopped and looked like, what is going on here? How like you walk in, all of a sudden conversation stop, people stop eating. They even like, I swear to God, kid you not, people were chewing their food. They stopped chewing and looked over there and was like, because these big dudes, of course, the biggest dude of them all, Mendowskis, that guy, that's a big brother, man. So yeah, he was kind of, it was good, All right. Question. Jay Clean says, how thin were the scenic roads in England, Jody? They were scary thin in Ireland. If you're talking about residential, super narrow. Super narrow. The houses look all the same. They're all like this. Like, there ain't one house that's like one here and one's like, they're all like this going across, right? And they all look alike. But Levi, how you doing? Welcome to the show. But it was cool. We sat there, we're eating, we're having fun, eating good food, had a few beers, had a few pints. We're having fun, having fun, because the other experience about this, now, in that group, there's going to be some people pulling one another, right? And when you get on that table, all the friendship goes away. But it's always good that, you're there as a group, you're a big family, because we're kind of secluded from everyone. We're in the city of Blackpool, but we're kind of in a world to ourselves, because we're all in this one house, a lot of testosterone going on. And, the thing was the fact that, we can still have a good time. There was a moment, the pool table was always in effect, Question here. Hey, was a great match. Pescu's a former Romanian champion. Pity your elbow slip that last round. Yeah, so before I get into that, so everybody out there, if you are not an Armwars member, please do so, because the main event card will be on that one. There's some other stuff coming out soon, So yeah, Jay Clean, I know, spoilers, right? I'm not going to get into it, so I'm going to let that rest right there. But if you're a member, please do so, because I will say this, though. You will not be disappointed with any match up there. That's what I will say. I'm not going to talk about too deep into that, because I don't want to sit there and break down the fourth wall, right? So, but again, when you're in a room, a house nonetheless, and it's all these athletes, you're sitting up there, you're chopping it up, you're exchanging notes and information and stuff, and then when it's go time, all that shit goes away. I didn't have any anxiety. I wasn't nervous, because I was like, man, this is your moment. This is what you've been wanting to do for a long period of time now. This is what you've been talking about the last X amount of months since you knew that you were going. So, the thing was, though, as I was training for Armwars, I had one goal in mind, Uncle John, right? And this is before we knew that he couldn't leave the country. So here I am training for Uncle John. Now, here's the thing, guys. You got to understand. Sorry, Sarah, guys and girls. Here's what you got to understand. Number one, training for Armwars and training for a specific opponent are two different things, okay? So my training didn't change at all. My opponent did. So, if I'm on here watching film on Uncle John, I'm thinking, okay, he'll actually do this. He'll actually do A, B, C, D. Fine, and then you find out he can't make it. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, you know what? Now what? And there was that gap where they were trying to find out who would be a good opponent. And then all of a sudden, you're like going, okay. And there was one incident where I was on the show with Ryan Espy. We did our show, and we made a joke like, hey, now that Uncle John's not going, I don't know who my opponent is. And then I sat there in the chat. I said, hey, guys, give us some pointers. Who do you think my opponent might be? And people were saying, Pickup. Others were saying Ryan Bowen. I think someone mentioned Larry Wheels, that kind of stuff. So we had fun with it, and I was all right with it. And then it hit me because Ryan Espy said, so Jody, you mean to tell me at that point, he goes, so you mean to tell me that you're going to board this plane not knowing who your opponent was? And, more often times than not, yeah. So that was kind of a disadvantage because I was like going, okay, what's going on with this? Now then, it just so happens Neil Pickup watches our show, right? Thank you, Jay Clean. Oh, y'all see that, right? Monday mornings, right? Check us out. So Neil Pickup watches our show. He'll come in like, midway through toward the end, when he's not busy. And he started throwing out these clues without saying it. And Neil's like, hey, Jody, can you beat a vampire? Can you beat Dracula? I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? And so I'm thinking, yeah, sure. I can beat I can beat a vampire, no big deal. So my facial features like, yeah, I can beat that. Not a big deal. Keep the show rolling. But inside, I was like going, what the fuck is he talking about? And I'm trying to think what's going on right now. Ryan, we got the show, and Ryan was like, well, I do remember Neil calling somebody Dracula, but he can't remember who it was. So now I'm doing research. I'm telling you guys, this Armwars Experience had me buzzing 2 weeks prior to when I left. Now, I get off the show, I go straight to Armwars. I'm going, okay, I go to every single match, starting from Reality Check when they rebooted Armwars, right? I'm starting from there, working my way down. Okay, it's not that person, it's not that person, not that person. And there were guys that kind of knew who they are and know who their nicknames are, but I couldn't find Dracula. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go Iron House 1. Okay, Iron House 2. Oh, well, Thick Skin, what they call him, right? He pulled Popescu. And if you watch those Armwars that's been on YouTube on their channel, Neil comes up, he's going to pull Dracula, Agent Popescu. That's it. That's who I'm pulling. Cool. Now, he was also there at Reality Check. He was also, I believe, there at Iron House 1. No, it might have been just 2. So Reality Check in number 2. So I'm going back all his matches. So now I got to do this now. I got to do a 180, right? And the thing is, though, is that I saw that, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm taking notes, right? Jay Clean says, I immediately knew it was a Romanian. I just picked the wrong one, wrong Romanian. Yeah, so again, this is where that experience, or in my case, lack thereof, because I've never pulled in an international person before. I mean, I've pulled Canadians before, but I mean, that's kind of, it's still North America, right? So I don't really count that. When I start going like crossing oceans, then I might consider that international. So now I get there, right? Fast forward. I see my opponent. What's up, Doug? What's going on with you, man? And I'm like this. Right? So TV doesn't do people justice, right? So I see this guy, and dude, I thought the dude's like 6'2", okay? So he's 6'2". I'm all of 5'11", if that. There are times I feel like I'm 5'10", maybe because I slouch over, but I'm like, and you can tell, and I can say some things on here without giving away. So for those that did watch my match, thank you. If you watch where he had to squat and I had to go tippy toe, that tells you right there the difference in height, what I had to go with, right? So you got this young stud, he got the man bun and everything, and just square jaw, just 24, 25 years old, maybe, but I will say this though, out of all the athletes that were there, Okay. Out of all of them that were there, I was the oldest. I'm going to say it again. Out of all the athletes that were there, I was the oldest, right? The next oldest person was Big Mendowski. He was like 42. And I'm like, almost a 50. So, you take that. I mean, I got kids, these pullers that were here, I got kids their age. So that tells you right there, I'm thinking, man, this old dude here, all right, okay, here we go. But again, we're talking international competition. All these guys got WAF experience, right? So you look at it like this. They've been on a bigger stage before. Now, all those guys that was there, even John Tiernan, they got an Armwars experience. I have zero experience, okay? So I go there, right? And I'm thinking, hey, what's going on? How you doing? And I'm seeing these, I'm thinking like going, I've seen this guy before. I've seen that guy before. I've seen that guy before, all on these Armwars episodes. And now it's coming to a realization like, okay, this is real stuff now because you've seen them compete, at Armwars. You've seen them compete, a few of them on East vs. West. You see them at WAF World Championships, and now you see them in person. Does that change in your mind what to expect? No, it doesn't, right? So again, when you talk to these guys, I was talking to Maynard Ninjas, right, out of the Netherlands, and talking with him, we're just chit-chatting. I said, hey, man, I need some work on a few things. Could you walk me through this? He says, sure. So I kind of show some stuff. I'm asking questions. Hey, man, how many guys are in your group? They call it, we say in the States, how many people you got on your team? They say we got these many people in our club, right? Wording's a little different over there. So now then, he says, we can have anywhere between 15 to 30 guys. And I'm like, good Lord. I'm like, like, damn, I'd be lucky, okay? Lucky to get 8 people, right? Let alone 15 to 30. And I'm like, damn, I'm like, so yes, people, I am all of 47 years old. So just to kind of put that out there. So I'm just floored by, these guys come in here and, oh yeah, we have these many people. We'll have about 4 or 5 tables. I'm like, good Lord. And I'm sitting there going, damn, I'm kind of jealous in a sense because, to have all that kind of the structure that they got that he was explaining to me, I wish I had. So again, I go over there, I'm taking notes. Now, let's be real. There's nothing I can do to like just, all of a sudden now I got 30 guys on my team. There's nothing that's going to change that in the next X amount of weeks, right? But the thing is, thank you, Jay Clean. The thing is, though, is that, the training they do, they take seriously, like not everybody here in the States trains like them. You will get some hardcore trainers, but we're talking everybody over there, right? So you take 30 people, just to give you an example, you take 30 people, right? Out of those 30 people, maybe 8 of them are like, I'm just here to have a few beers, mess around the table. The other 22 are serious. Is my math right? 30 and 22 is 8. Okay, yeah. So the other 22 are dead serious. We're talking they train twice a week, and then the days they don't train on the table, they're in the weight room. They're taking it that serious. And I'm like, damn. So it kind of opened my eyes to a whole different world. Now, outside of that, my experience, day 1, I was sore. We had day 2, did that. Woke up, Monday was like, oh, dude, I felt like I got in a car wreck. Not that I did, even though I almost got hit by a car twice, but my body was shoulders, neck, arms, biceps, pec, everything was just super sore, right? Because, when I say Armwars, that's exactly what they mean, right? And that's exactly what I got. So if somebody would have asked me, hey, Jody, I know you're sore as shit, but did you enjoy your experience? Would you go back again? You're damn right I would. Damn right I would. Because that right there was everything I thought it would be, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Hey, I don't care if I got hurt. I'm telling you right now, I enjoyed every minute of it because I'm telling you right now, it is a dream come true. I always thought um, Armwars was like the WrestleMania of arm wrestling, you know. And here's the thing: I've never been a king of the table, never been to East versus West, you know. But I have been to Armwars. I have, well, I'm not have, but I'm going to the Monster Factory, which I'm going to segue into that topic in a second. Never been to Armed Gods. It's a little different. But, you know, when you have all these different organizations out there, everyone's a little different in their own way. So it does cater to certain people, right? So, you know, it's all good. I'll go ahead and do this right quick. Gotta put my glasses back on. So, you are healthy, right? No problems? No. And Jay Clean, just to let you know, I'm not sore as an injury sore. I'm sore as in I took myself to the limit. I put it to you this way, without giving away what I did or any results, I left everything I had on the table. Everything I had on the table. Not like I said, that's without giving out clues about what I did. I left everything on the table. You know, I'm serious. And so it was weird because, you know, here I am. I felt like an outsider, you know, so to speak. And I'll tell you why. Because you get Austin Jaggers over there. Austin Jaggers, fresh off his win over Derek Smith, right? A lot of people thought he won the match with Tim Breslin prior to that. So he has momentum going over there. John Tarian has momentum at Armwars. He's been there. He beat Frodo Hogan, who's the face of Armwars for so many years. He got a win on him in Iron House #2, right? And I'm sitting there going, man, I have no Armwars pedigree. All these guys that were there, you know, have been there before. The only two people that were brand new, I think, was Austin and myself, right? Oh, Sam Burnett out of Australia. I don't think he's done it either. But the three of us have no Armwars experience whatsoever, right? But those guys got pedigree. I'm doing, in comparison, I'm thinking I feel like an outsider, you know, because when you go against somebody, they're conditioned to do 6 rounds no matter what. What I'm saying is it's not like the king of the table where, hey, I got my 4 wins. I can just chill now. I can choose not to continue, whatever. No, the first person that gets 4 wins, you still got 2 more matches. End of, no matter what. You know what I mean? So, and when I mean you're going to it, you're going, unless you have an injury, obviously, right? If you have an injury, then yeah, you can't continue. But no injuries. So, first and foremost, no injuries. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured, which is good. So, you know. All right. My man, Mr. Butler, where are you from? I am from Central Oregon, Bend, Oregon. So I'm about 3 hours south of Portland. So that's where I am from. So, but again, I mean, being an outsider was kind of weird because, like, okay, this is all right. I'm the only brother there. I'm the oldest one here. Okay, you know, let's see what I can do, right? That kind of thing. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying, if I ever got the opportunity to go again, you're damn right I'm gonna go. You know, if everything lines up again, I will go. You know, the thing is though, it's like, hey, you know, now what happens? Okay, so hop on the plane. Thank God, no plane coming back home. Was if any plane got delayed going back home, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I just didn't want planes being delayed going there. But coming back, it was weird. It was almost like I went back in time. So got back home, took a couple of days off to kind of get reacclimated to the time change. Woke up today, did a little training because now, as we're going to segue into the next topic, Monster Factory #4. Okay, so April 29th, Hot Springs, Arkansas, Monster Factory #4. And your boy right here, the armed sport entertainment athlete that he is, will be a part of that. Okay, so who's my opponent? Not a secret, right? So it's Mr. Russ Schrader. Now, Russ Schrader, good friend of mine, good family man. Love the guy. Love his wife, Whitney. You know, their daughter, Serenity. Just awesome people, right? And him and I got a date on the table April 29th, left-handed match. So he is currently ranked number 13th, I believe, in the hook rankings, left-handed 242. I am ranked number 20. I am the last person occupying that spot. So, and it's funny because as I'm getting ready for Armwars, right? I got Russ over here sending me video. You know, he's deadlifting and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking, okay, he's getting ready from. That's cool. That's cool. But thing is, though, my mind was on Armwars. Now that's all behind me in the rearview mirror. I can refocus. Now I can focus clearly and squarely on the Monster Factory. So, but we're not the main event. No, because the main event is Pablo versus Ron Bath for the title. Now, another thing I got going against me, just like I said about the Armwars thing, where you going against guys who been there before. If I'm not mistaken, Russ has been there, Monster Factory, on 2 separate occasions. So he knows the format. He knows how things go. Me, not so much, right? So, all right. Speaking of Monster Factory, Mr. Butler said this will be the first Monster Factory I'm not attending. Hate that I'm going to miss getting to meet you, Jody. Just had to take a break from those $500 tickets. Yeah, I get that. You know, I really get that. Because that would have been sweet to meet you too in person. So, and that's another thing too. When you see these people in the chat, you know, you see them on social media, and then you finally get to meet them in person. It's like going, man, you know, that person's pretty badass, you know. So I was looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys there, but you know, I get it, you know. But I'm looking forward to that. I guess the question would be, hey, there's a question coming up. Watch. Hey, Jody, because me and Russ are going left arm. And watch, somebody's going to say, hey, how's your left arm? Watch. All right. So let me answer it for you. How is my left arm going into against Russ? Well, it goes back to what I said before. There's no injuries. So I'm feeling pretty good. No injuries. I'm back in the gym as of like this morning. I was back in there getting ready, getting all the kinks and stuff out. And again, yes, Jay Clean, how's your left arm? Left arm feels good. It really does. The only time it hurt is just because I pull so much with it. Don't forget that in the after pulls. Right. So I pull so much with it, but there's no injuries, which is good. I didn't want to have to pull the plug on that because I got hurt somewhere else. But one of the things I've asked, because when you go back-to-back events, you know, does one get enough time to rest and does one get enough time to train if you go from one event to another? Because what's today? March 30th? Yeah, so April 29th, I'm rolling. Let's go. So I'm excited for that too. Like I said, never been in a Monster Factory before. I've watched all the events. You know, I was well invested in that. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, Mr. Michael Todd, Rebecca Todd. Thank you for giving the opportunity for me to come down there and compete. That's awesome. And hopefully, fingers crossed, if I do good there, maybe I might get invited back. You know, I'm at a point now where, you know, I got to give everything I got because there's no guarantees, right? If there's an opportunity out there, you grasp it, right? So my attitude is like, do your best, forget the rest, okay? So that means I got to go out there and do as much damage as I can to where, hey, maybe they might want me to come again. That would be awesome, right? So that's always an option. That's why I like when all these organizations are coming. And then, of course, everyone has been talking about WAL coming back. Here we go again. So aside from all the tournaments that's been going on for years and years and years, right? We all know those. Now, let's talk about the actual organizations, right? You got East vs. West, King of Table, Armwars, Armed Gods, Monster Factory. That's the big 5 right now, okay? And if Wall comes back, then you got 6. So here's the thing. What I like about that is the fact that there's something for somebody. Because not everybody can compete at East vs. West. We all know that. Not everybody can compete at a King of the Table, right? So when you have all these other organizations saying, hey, and they give you the opportunity, you seize the moment, grasp it, seize the moment, you go there, do work, do what you can. You know what I mean? Because hell, you never know. They might ask you to come back. And if you come back, then you know, okay, well, they must have liked what I had because they're asking me to come back, Here we go. So it's more like the big two and little three, with Wall being the wild card. Yeah, well, the reason why I said the big five is for the organization. There's something for everybody, right? Something for everybody. Oh no, I didn't take any respect from that, Jay. I know what you meant. There's something for everybody. Here's my opinion about WAL. I'm not going to sit there and crap on it. What I will say is this: toward the end, when COVID came around and kind of shut stuff down, I will watch it anyway because I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan first, right? And I'll watch it. East versus West, doesn't matter. King of the Table, I will have that stuff on Saturday mornings. That's when we practice here at my place, The thing is, though, is like this. Toward the end of WAL, what was it, 506 or something like that, where Monster Michael Todd was pulling Jerry Carrera for the hammer, you got to wonder and be careful, because how many times can you recycle the same matches over and over again, right? So, yes, these are the facts. Hashtag 98, hashtag 113, right? So here's the thing. You have to understand that, and we'll take Michael Todd and Devin Larratt again. Honest opinion. I'm going to say this, and I want everybody in the chat, to all 12 of you guys, to respond. And I'm going to tell you why my answer is. How many times do you want to see another Devin Larratt Michael Todd match, right? Now, I'm out of tea, damn it. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say, here's the deal. What you got to understand is this. Michael Todd and Devin go way back to the early editions of Armwars, right? When Devin was lean and stuff, right? And, because we've seen Devin and Michael on two separate Armwars shows. We've seen them on WAL, that's 3, and we've seen them on King of Table, right? Do we really need to see them again? That's no disrespect to them, but it's like going, you can only see these matches so many times, right? I understand. Now we're about trilogy, right? We're about movies. They come in 3s, and then they pretty much do that, right? Trilogy, right? So, do we really want to see that again? And the point I'm trying to make is that, and this is where I'm going to answer Jay Clean's respond to his comment. You got to look at it like this. How many more times, and I'll bring up an example. I'll bring up 3 guys: Jerry Carteret, Michael Todd, Devin Larratt. How many times do we need to reshuffle or regurgitate? I probably shouldn't use that word, but I'm going to. How many times do we need to regurgitate those matches again? We want to see fresh new people. Exactly, right? Fresh new blood. Yes. Because think about it. Because all they were doing was recycling the same people over and over again. It got to the point it's like, well, what the fuck? So it was cool and awesome when WAL had those tournaments, those qualifiers, because then guess what? I understand the cream will rise to the top. I get that. But some way, somehow, there was somebody that's not the household name that broke the glass ceiling, right? And made it happen. So, reason why that made things exciting, then they quit, then they went to a super match format, which was cool. But then after a while, they're going, okay, it's the same people because you only got 30 athletes. And then from that 30, you just kind of rotate them around, So, yeah, the wall tournaments were awesome. Now, same thing with the East versus West, right? Ingen came out with that. Awesome guy. I'm glad he's doing that for the sport, getting more eyes on that. He's having these awesome athletes throwing down. And guess what? Now we're having East versus West qualifiers, right? I qualified. Matter of fact, hold on for a second. I know it's kind of rude, you guys, but I'm going to do this anyway, you know? So, right? Sorry about that for a second. East versus West qualifiers, right? Here's mine right here. East versus West. I qualified for it. Am I going to go? Probably not, you know? But yeah, East versus West. I took second. So, yes, I qualified for East versus West. But I got so much on my schedule, I will not be able to go June 3rd to Virginia. But the fact that they're having them all over the place, you know, is making it interesting again. Because, again, you know, obviously we all know the rules, right? Hey, top 2 in each class qualify to the finals of Virginia. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, the number 1 guy, whoever takes first place in the finals, will get the call and go, hey, we'll fly you down to Turkey. You'll be on one of the shows. So that's cool, because that's incentive, you know, and more often times than not, that's what we want, because you want that different person to come in here and clean house. All right. Now, key word is opportunity. Sorry as I'm eating the grape. Opportunity. Paul Lim, perfect example. Why I like this guy? Opportunity. Win against John Brzenk, you know. Hey, he lost 3-0, but Paul was grinding, holding his own. I like that kind of stuff. I like people who like to just go in there and just grind it out. Wink, right? So I like that kind of stuff. Now, what happens next? Oh, hey Paul, this is Michael Todd. We'd love to have you come down to the Monster Factory. I think we have a suitable opponent for you. Oh yeah, who you got? What do you think about Ron Bath? Right? So here's that. Paul goes down to Monster Factory, beats Ron Bath. And you know what? Here's the thing. Awesome. And here's the awesome part about that. It opened doors for him. Now Ingen's like, you know, hey, you want to come down here? And, you know, you did pretty good, because Ingen watches everything. You know what I'm saying? He watches everything. So Paul got the opportunity, and look where Paul's at now. He is your current, what class is that? Is that light heavyweight? I can't remember what the kilo class is, but he's your current world champion as far as East versus West goes, you know? So there you go. But let me get back to some of these comments here. Wall is what got me watching arm wrestling. It looked and felt like a true real sport. The further you dive into the sport, you see the flaws in it, but it was awesome. Yeah. You know, and like I said, when it came out, it was nice, you know? David says, I don't mind rematches only if it makes sense. Like if Devin is number 1 and Michael Tyler or Jerry's number 2, then I'll love seeing it again. I get, yeah. Okay. That's one thing, because it means something, right? Not just to do it. You know, it means something, right? So, 95 kg class. Okay. So if he's 95, then what is Unger Bayev then? What class is he in? Because he's the other champ. Unless that's like another hand or whatever. I don't know anymore. But yeah. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. What is Unger Bayev? You know what I mean? But nonetheless, though, do you see what I'm saying though? East versus West, you're getting opportunities, right? Cool. I'll throw another name out there. Uncle John. Oh, okay. Unger Bayev 105. Perfect. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Because that is my weight. Uncle John. Opportunity, right? He's been to Arm Wars 3 different times now. 3 different times. And he's been to Arm Gods 1 time. So, you know, and he'll tell you right now, is he going to be there? Is he ever going to be on at a King of the Table? Probably not competing. Is he ever going to be East versus West? Probably not competing. He just, what fits him, Arm Wars, Arm Gods fits him. Okay? It fits him. I can kind of see that might fit me. Now, I'll be the first to admit, on this show, as of 2:46 Pacific Standard Time, March 30th, I know for a fact I am not an elite puller. I am not East versus West material. I am not King of Table material, because I am not an elite puller. You know what I mean? So there you have it. Now, this is why I said when those other organizations open up, they give you options. So let's just say the cream of the crop organizations are King of the Table and East versus West. That's fine. because you still got 3 more, right? Well, 2 for sure, maybe a third. You still got Arm Wars, which I just did. I loved it so much, I think I might go back. You do have Arm Gods, you know? Maybe they might reach out to me. Maybe they won't. I don't know. You do have the Monster Factory. Cool. They've really reached out. Now I got to go out there and show them what I can do. So hopefully, knock on wood, I get the opportunity to come back, right? And if Wall comes out, even better. So I guess I'm trying to say it in the midst of all this is that when COVID came and just wiped everything out, you know, there you go. Now, there's other events too that I hold in high regard. The Arnold. I'd love to go back there because I went in 2019. I think that was the last time that they had a 199 and over class. So, you know, it's curious, man. And let me tell you something. That day I went there, and first of all, it's a right-handed tournament only, right? Okay. Second of all, we're talking there was no 242 class. It was 199 and over, which meant there were 27 dudes in my class, right? I didn't win, so obviously I got 2 losses. My 2 losses came to Robbie Burnett and Derek Smith, you know? But I still managed to take 9th or 10th out of 22 dudes, or I'm sorry, out of 27 guys. So hell, I think that's great. Whatever, you know. Jay Clean, who? Yeah, exactly right. But yes, I mean, those are actually, you know, awesome events. Now the Arnold, you got to qualify. What makes that unique? Not only is because you're at a huge convention center in Columbus, Ohio, but we're talking athletes upon athletes. There's so many athletes there. I remember us on stage, and you had people from CrossFit stopping, looking, strongman checking us out. And then when we got done, we returned the favor. Let me go see what they got going on in powerlifting, bench press, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, they're watching each other's events. I thought that was pretty cool. But what I was going to say is that what makes that good is the fact that once you win the Arnold, you can just come back whenever you want to. Whereas the other ones, you got to qualify. So, all right. Question is, how long you been serious about arm wrestling? Well, I got into it in December 2010. My first sanctioned event was March 2011. So right around there, you know? So, but yeah, I'm telling you right now, but now with COVID being said and done and everything's coming out with this stuff, it makes it exciting. Arm guards are all about a bunch of bisexual dudes. Nothing wrong with that. To each his own and such. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say, and I don't know how many of y'all are wrestling fans, but growing up, it was like, okay, there was WWE, WWF, whatever, WCW. Then remember the cast off one, ECW. Remember that? So it kind of reminds me of maybe ECW. But you got to learn. You got to understand. Do you know who the super heavyweight champion is of that federation or organization? It's the same guy that pulled Austin Jaggers over the weekend. Mindaugas, Dos Locos, right? He is the current champion over there, right? Tom Holland is the current lightweight champion over there. He was also at Arm Wars this past weekend. So again, you know, you got the crossover, right? Because then you got guys who competed on Arm Gods and guys who competed on Arm Wars, and they cross over, right? But what's the good thing about that? There's no contracts involved. No, there's no contracts involved. Yes, Jay Clean. ECW was a black sheep of the family, and let's be real. When Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stunning Steve Austin got fired from WCW, he had a short stint in ECW before he came to WWE, and we all know him as Stone Cold now. So let's not forget that. So yes, in case you don't know what that means, that is the call and cry for Arm Gods. So yes, if someone were to ask me, you know, hey Jody, would you ever consider going to Arm Gods? I would, just to kind of get my feet wet and see what that's about, you know. So if Marcus Thompson, if you're out there, you know, get a hold of your boy. We can sit there, we can talk turkey, but as far as I understand, as far as I'm aware, the next Arm Gods event will be in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. They've been talking about that for a while now, and sometime in the fall, from what I hear. So don't know exactly when, but that's what I've been hearing is sometime in the fall. So, there you have it. We all know when you think of arm guards, it seems like anybody talks about is, hey, did you see when, Paul Maiden smacked, or got hit upside the head with a beer can by Evan McGowan? Okay, I get it, Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get, I guess, views or to get people to buy the pay-per-view, because I was already going to buy it anyway. Because, I see my man Cobra. That's my dude, right? That's my dude. It's my uncle, right? And Uncle John was there, and I was kind of curious what was going on. And then all of a sudden, after that press conference with Evan McGowan and Paul Maiden, after that, smack, and Paul took off his shirt and was flexing, whatever, more people bought it because they want to see what's going to happen now. And of course, it was just a 3-0 sweep. So, yes, you should go for it. And no buy stuff. Yeah, I don't partake in all that stuff. But just to go over there and compete, because again, you're going overseas. You're gonna have some studs over there, So, there you have it, Here we go. The Drew said Arm Gods Canada, then Arm Gods in Vegas. Son of a bitch. If what you're saying is true, holy shit. And I can say holy shit on my show. So, holy shit. If you're telling me that Arm Gods will be in Canada and after that in Las Vegas, OMG. W-O-W. Wow. Holy shit. There you go. I like that. Benji Max in the house. What's up, Benji? How you doing, man? Chocolate Rain. Yeah. You know what? After my performance at Arm Wars, I considered, man, should I get a new nickname? And I'll just let that sit there for a second. But yeah, the whole thing was what? Cringe. Then maybe not want to watch. Are you talking about the Arm Gods event? Because I like to kind of ignore all that and just see it for what it is. The matches were good. I thought they were pretty good. But again, you got Tom Holland, who's a current champion in that league. Mindaugas, DeSoskas, a current champion in that league. I just saw those guys over the weekend, chit chat and all. So again, it goes to show you that, man, that's pretty badass. So yes. There it is. That's how you market that, right? That's how you market that. Because not everybody has that, So, but again, I was kind of getting off base because we're supposed to be talking about Monster Factory, but I kind of teed off. I apologize. But yeah, well, I was going with all that, getting ready for the Monster Factory. It's all about opportunities, right? When you get that opportunity, you grasp it, make the most out of it. I applaud Neil Pickup, James Statham, told those guys, hey man, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on that. I took it all in, They like what I brought, Now is that another invitation coming? Guess you have to wait and see. But I will say this though. When you go there, you got to be mentally ready, physically ready. I've never drank so much water in my entire life. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this because, again, what I'm about to say talks about the match, but doesn't talk about the results or anything. I sweated so much, right? I sweated so much. And it's like sometimes that went against me. I'm going to just leave it at that, But I'm telling you right now, I've never sweated that much in my entire life. I'm like, wow, So again, I can't say enough about that. That was an awesome experience. I can't wait to the next one. I mean, I know what it is. I don't know if Neil talked about it yet, but I know some things. I know when the next dark card is. I know when the next Arm Wars is, but I'm not going to say it because I don't have the permission. If Neil said it, cool. I'm not going to do it though. But yeah, it's cool. And even, after filming, right? You're sitting there in the house still. We're just chit-chatting stuff. Or we go out to dinner as a group. The shit, come back, as a group, and we're hanging out. There's a hot tub in there. Fuck it. You ever seen 5 dudes in a hot tub? Be careful how you answer that question. So we're sitting up there in the hot tub, chilling, chit-chatting stuff. We got our beverages, and we're just like trying not to be loud. And the neighbors came over a couple of times. Dude, I got kids sleeping. My bad. But we're enjoying ourselves because that was our coup de grace. Like, okay, we're done now. Let's go ahead and relax and just unwind, here's the funny part. Mindauskis, the big dude, brought over some of his homemade Lithuanian vodka, 50 proof. I'm going to say it again. Homemade Lithuanian vodka, 50, like 48, 49, 50 proof. Man, I ain't never had nothing that smooth before in my entire life for to be that strong. And you know how some of that vodka is where you take a swig and all of a sudden you feel like you got instant heartburn. Like if you burp, like flames will come out. Like I didn't get that feeling, right? But I will say this though, if you're not careful, it'll knock you down. So it will knock you down. My man, I am trying to live my best life. I'm trying to, right? You only live once, so you make it count, right? I'm saying? So what has this experience taught me is that enjoy the ride, whatever that might be, arm wrestling, sports, family, whatever the case may be, whatever that is, enjoy it. That's what you got to do. You got to enjoy it. But yeah, Monster Factory, April 29th, Hot Springs, Arkansas. I will be there. I'll be there taking on Russ Shredder, best of 5 left-handed. You would think by now, since I was doing Arm Wars at all, best of 5 ain't shit, So, I'll be training for that. I started training again earlier this morning, so that was pretty cool. And, I'm feeling pretty good. Like I said, no injuries. The soreness is pretty much gone now. The only thing I got now is when playing on my elbow and burns and all that kind of stuff. But, we're all there. Yes, Robert Kelly, I will see you there, my friend. So again, everybody, hey, thank you for taking time out to check me out. All you guys in the chat, love you lots. Hey, and by the way, one of the things I like about Armwars, they got those custom shirts, right? So yeah, I'm gonna throw this out there. They got the custom shirts, right? So anybody that watched the main event card, Armwars, subscribe, become a member, by the way. They got those custom made shirts. I already posted on my social media, but if you're interested in buying one, message me. That way I can go ahead and give you the link and get you going. So far, I've sold 3. Need to sell more, but I've sold 3. That's cool. That's cool. At least I got 3 fans out there. Pretty awesome. But again, awesome time chatting with you guys. I'm going to let you go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. But thank you very much for joining me on the show. And as always, I see you when I see you. You guys take care. Be nice to one another.